Have you ever wondered why your cat ignores a luxury $50 automatic maze, but is ready to chase an ordinary hair tie or a crumpled piece of paper found in the trash for hours? Most owners make a fatal mistake, believing that the more complex and expensive a toy is, the happier their pet will be. However, the truth is that by trying to make your cat happy with expensive gadgets, you unconsciously cause them psychological discomfort, ignoring the ancient code that shaped their brain for millions of years. I am certain that 90% of you right now are spending money on things which your cat perceives as foreign and incomprehensible objects, while the true key to their heart lies in an ordinary pen cap. Today we will reveal this evolutionary cipher and understand why your cat looks ungrateful, even though in reality they are trying to tell you something very important about their nature. Listen to this reflection until the very last second, because at the very end I will tell you about one critical mistake in the design of modern toys, which can cause a state of chronic frustration in an animal that almost no owner suspects, and which will forever change your approach to choosing entertainment for your predator. Write right now in the comments what your cat's favorite toy is today, and if you have had a situation where the box from an expensive gift turned out to be more interesting than the gift itself. There is a common misconception that cats are pampered creatures. However, biological reality proves something completely different. Every object in your pet's paws is not just entertainment, it is a strategic object for practicing survival skills. Let's try to dive into the depths of neurophysiology and the history of the species. The key factor here is the concept of ideal weight and texture. In the wild, your cat's ancestors hunted small rodents and birds, whose weight rarely exceeded 40 grams. When you offer a cat a massive plastic construction, their ancient instinct tells them that this object is not prey. It is too heavy, too loud, and, most importantly, it lacks organic unpredictability. But here's where it gets interesting. And if you thought that the cat just likes trash, wait. Why does an ordinary cardboard box cause such an incredible surge of dopamine in your animal's brain? The fact is that the texture of cardboard is ideal for fixing claws and teeth, creating the illusion of a struggle with a real opponent. Studies, conducted at Utrecht University in 2014, confirmed that the presence of simple cardboard shelters reduces cortisol levels in cats 50% faster than any medicinal methods. Cardboard is not just trash. It is an acoustic insulator and a safe bunker, which allows the cat to monitor the perimeter without being noticed. Take away your cat's favorite box, you destroy their strategic fortress, leaving them defenseless against the noise of the big world. However, there is one detail that is impossible to ignore. It is the chemistry of the hunting drive. Click the like button and subscribe. If you belong to those few owners who truly want to understand their animal at the level of the soul, and not just see it as an interior decoration. Let's look at the process of play from the perspective of evolution. Why do a hair tie or a piece of foil make a cat literally go crazy with joy? The answer lies in micro-vibrations and the randomness of movement. A light object reacts to the slightest touch of a paw, changing its trajectory as lightning fast, as a mouse does in thick grass. Expensive robotic toys often have a predictable algorithm, which a predator's brain solves in the first 3 minutes. As soon as the intrigue disappears, the toy turns into dead plastic, which carries no value for the development of intelligence. In reality, your cat has been trying to tell you this for years, using body language. When they bring you a crumpled store receipt instead of a branded mouse, they are demonstrating their success in the real world to you. For them, this is not an accident. It is a survival strategy in an apartment environment. An important aspect is the concept of sound identification. The high-frequency rustling of paper or plastic reminds the cat of leaves crunching under a victim's feet. In the wild, this is the sound of life or death. Modern toys often emit a low-frequency hum of motors, which is perceived by the cat's ear as a threat or a source of stress, rather than an object of hunting. Your cat perceives your passion for shopping as a strange human weakness. They do not understand the value of money. They only understand the value of effort, spent to achieve a result. When they chase an ordinary walnut around the house, they are training their proprioception, the sense of their own body in space. This makes them a confident predator and not a passive observer. Play for a cat is not a way to pass the time. It is a ritual that maintains their mental health. In addition to this, we must mention the phenomenon of sensory adaptation, which veterinarians rarely talk about. Your cat is a biological computer, tuned to search for the new. Even the most interesting thing in the world loses its value if it lies before their eyes 24 hours a day. Most owners simply litter the floor with toys, hoping that the cat will have fun, but in reality, they create so-called white noise, which the predator's brain simply stops noticing. To return interest to anything, even to that same pen cap, you must use the rotation method. Imagine that you offer the cat only 3 objects per week and hide the rest in a closed box. When after 7 days you take out an old toy, it smells of mystery and novelty again. This creates the illusion as if the prey has returned to the territory after a long absence. This approach stimulates neural connections and prevents apathy, which is often the first step toward depression in domestic cats. Respect for your animal's intelligence begins with understanding its need for an intellectual challenge. Ignoring toys is a statement about your cat's professional competence. They are too smart to play by your rules if those rules contradict the laws of nature. But here we approach that very critical detail. Have you ever heard of the infinite chase effect? Many owners use laser pointers, considering it the ideal way to exhaust a cat's energy. However, the truth is that a laser is the cruelest toy you can give a predator. Since the dot of light cannot be caught, or its weight or texture felt, the hunting cycle in the cat's brain never ends, which leads to deep psychological trauma and a loss of self-confidence. That is why ordinary trash turns out to be more useful than a laser. When the cat finally presses a bottle cap with its paw, its brain receives the final impulse of completing the operation. This is a moment of triumph, which grants peace and a sense of security. Your home turns into a territory where they are, a successful protector and hunter, and not an eternal loser chasing a ghost. Learn to see the world through the eyes of your little wild predator. For them, the concept of price does not exist. Only the concept of functionality exists. Cherish this fragile connection and do not try to replace your attention with expensive gadgets. Every minute spent playing with an ordinary string is worth more than 1,000 autonomous toys, because at that moment you become part of their hunt, part of their colony, and their strategic alliance. The real truth is that your cat does not love trash. They love the honesty of nature, which these things carry within them. Take care of your pets, appreciate their ancient wisdom, and remember that your cat's true happiness is not bought in a store. It is built on respect for their wild essence and the ability to see the great in the small.